Okay, so I've been, increasingly thinking, what should I do with my YouTube channel, because it's actually starting to turn into something here. And so what I've decided to do, several things. First, I'm going to document my experience with mold for those of you that, might be going through this as well, maybe even 5 years from now. And as I learn the information, I am going to piecemeal it into very short video segments so that you can listen and learn and your brain is not overloaded, because this disease does affect your brain big time, depending on how much inflammation you have in your body. Secondly, I was writing on a blog that I created called Coffee, Politics, and Religion. I will probably continue that blog here as a video blog instead of writing, because at this point right now, I don't have time to sit down and write articles at this point in my life. Third, I was also working with Farrah Prudence at voxpopularnews.net, and we did a huge series on Islam, huge educational series on Islam called Vox Shot. And, it varied between length with the episode. Sometimes it was an hour, sometimes it was 15 minutes. We also did about 4 or 5 radio shows with Rebel Radio, and so I'm going to continue that as well, and also just generally talk about politics outside of Islam. So this channel will be dedicated to those 3 things. This video right now, in particular, not just I'm describing what this channel is going to be, but also I'd like to share some information with you about the symptoms related to mold illness and Lyme disease, okay? Now, I couldn't tell you for certain, because the Lyme disease testing is so terrible, whether I have Lyme disease or not. I believe that I probably do. I also know for sure that I do have the mold poisoning. And I know that because of my genetics. That's something that is definitive. You either have it or you don't after the testing is over with. Now, the testing I'm talking about is through the Shoemaker protocol. They look for certain criteria for you to meet on blood work and symptoms. And if you meet that criteria, it's very simple. You either have it or you don't. There's hardly ever any in between with it. Now, one thing I want to point out that I have noticed since I've had this disease, I've already done a couple videos on the mask, so you can check those out. But just I did get new filters the other day, and some of you saw that, I'm sure. And these filters, you can get different ones on the Uline website. And if you look at these filters on the side, it'll tell you exactly what compounds they filter out. Different organic compounds, different chemicals. And this particular set of filters I bought filter out way more than the old set. And the interesting thing about these filters is, the more you use it, the better it gets, okay? So if you first put this on and you're not noticing within the first 24 hours the relief of your symptoms, maybe it's because your body doesn't detox well, or maybe it's because these filters just need some time. Yesterday, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was a little concerned because my symptoms were not being relieved when I put this on. Today they are. I'm back to the way things were before with the other filters. Now when I take them off, the pain comes back. So I just leave them on as much as possible. Unfortunately, I can't sleep in this thing at night So I wake up in the morning and everything has started all over again. Now, another thing I've noticed, diet, okay? I think that sugar is an issue for me personally. I think gluten could also be an issue for people. It is for me to an extent. It does give me reflux, and I believe that's from the inflammation from the mold poisoning. Didn't used to have that kind of thing, okay? My stomach was like a cast iron. You know, I could eat whatever I wanted, how much of it I wanted, and I never had any digestive problems at all. You know, that all changed with this a few years ago. But something interesting is happening. And I'm able to tell because I'm wearing this mask, so I know when my symptoms have been relieved. But I'll eat sugar now, and when I eat sugar, I do get some pain. Not as much as before. Before, if I ate sugar, it would knock me on my behind, and I would be in bed for 2 or 3 days. Because, and this is why, you know, my doctor explained to me that your vascular system, you have certain arteries that allow, you know, things to pass through in your bloodstream, and other ones do not. The ones that are designed to stay closed are the ones that are in your brain and the ones that are in your gut. And when your body is this inflamed and you've got this issue with the mold poisoning, guess what? Those are opened up so it allows particles to pass through. So, obviously, sugar or gluten is going to cause more inflammation in the body. It's going to cause more pain because now these things that are not supposed to be getting outside of your body are getting outside of your body, outside of your gut, and outside of that brain barrier. So, you know, depending on who you are, you should probably limit that until you've really healed up from this. So, those are some of the things I've noticed, some of the things I've been thinking about, what I'm going to do with my YouTube channel. And so now at least, if you want to subscribe and listen, you have a more of a definition, working definition of what I'm going to be doing here. I just felt like the last 3 or 4 videos I put up have been so random, and I've mostly been focused on me. And now I have a little bit of time to maybe help educate others. And so I hope to really put together a library here of videos for people that have the same health issues I do. And hey, you know, you can get some political content on the side because I'm interested in politics and religion too, and spirituality. So I'm just trying to, I'm trying to bring everything that I'm interested in to this one channel. And you know, another thing I would say just before we go here, if you know somebody that has symptoms that are like Parkinson's or MS or ALS or some mysterious illness like fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue, they need to see a shoemaker doctor or some doctor that specializes in mold to get checked for mold poisoning. Their house needs to be checked. I would also say that they need to get checked with a Lyme literate doctor. Okay, there's not many places that don't have Lyme disease anymore. In fact, there's over 300 species of Lyme in the United States. Okay, and Austin, Texas, all right, you heard that right, Austin, Texas, is endemic for Lyme, according to a Texas A&M study. Over half of the ticks are carrying Lyme disease. So, you know, you're more likely to get this disease than West Nile virus. So you've probably been misdiagnosed. Or you've gotten some strange diagnosis that doesn't make any sense, and there's no real answer to the question. They'll just give you some drugs to cover up the problem. If you want an answer, please check with a Lyme literate doctor, check with a mold doctor, and see if maybe your symptoms have anything to do with that. Hey, thanks for listening. God bless. See you later.